A couple of weeks ago, we launched our new Thrive Apprentice Stripe integration, which allows Thrive Suite users to charge for their courses and memberships without having to also pay for an intermediary checkout system. And I'd like to show you step by step how to get it set up and running on your own website and all of the cool things that you can do with it. All right, let's dive in. Great, so before we get started, you do need to have Thrive Apprentice installed on your WordPress website if you'd like to follow along this tutorial. There are two ways to do this. You can either sign up for a single Thrive Apprentice license, or you can sign up for Thrive Suite and enjoy our entire bundle of plugins. There's a link down in the description box that will allow you to do either one. Okay, so here's the overall gist of how this setup works. With Thrive Apprentice, we can create products, right? And each of our products protects things on our website. We can have a product that allows us to create a membership site, and people who purchase this product unlocks access to certain blog posts or pages or areas of our website. Or we can have a product unlock a Thrive Apprentice course, and we only let people that purchase that product take our course. We can create Thrive Apprentice products that can serve unique or multiple purposes, because we can also create bundles and such. And it used to be the case that we had to connect our Thrive Apprentice products to a third-party checkout system like Sendowl or Thrivecart, and have this checkout system connect to either Stripe or PayPal or Apple Pay or whatever to be able to process payments. But not anymore. Now we can have our Thrive Apprentice products connect directly to our Stripe account, bypassing the need to pay for a third-party checkout tool. We'll talk about why or when you may be interested in doing this later. I know that some of you already have existing funnels that make use of third-party checkout tools, but for now, let's just dive into Thrive Apprentice and see how we can get this done.
All right, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be connecting our Thrive Apprentice website to our Stripe account and enabling payment processing. I'm also going to teach you guys how to set up cross-sells, upsells, and more than one currency. So we're going to take it step by step so that you don't get too overwhelmed. All right, let's jump into it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate into my product settings inside Thrive Apprentice. And just for the sake of this example, I'm going to imagine that I'm building a membership site. So let's go ahead and call our product Tony's Membership Site. And people that purchase this product are going to get access to my Thrive Architect course. And we can probably also give them access to a blog post category. So they're also going to get access to blog posts of category business. All right, let's hit done. Perfect. So this would be the part where we create our product, right? And we determine what exactly people are going to be able to access on our website once they purchase this product. Now we need to tell Thrive Apprentice, okay, how do we unlock access to this product? So we're going to jump into access requirements, and we need to connect our Stripe account. So let's go ahead and hit this connect Stripe button. And as you can see, this is going to trigger a window. It's going to open up Stripe for us. Whether you have a Stripe account or not, just type in your email address. I'm going to type in mine. If you're new to Stripe and you've never, created a Stripe account, you're probably going to have to run through a series of steps where you simply fill out some details such as your name, your business address, your tax information, and so forth and so on. I don't think it's going to ask me to do that myself, but anyways, let's power through this. Great. So once you've powered through that process, you're going to be redirected back into Thrive Apprentice. Now, we do want to log in into Stripe. So let's go ahead and click this option here that says log into the Stripe developer dashboard. And you're going to be redirected to something that looks like this. This is a welcome dashboard. Now, something that you may want to take into account is that every time you connect Stripe to a third-party developer, whether it's Thrive Themes, so in my case, for example, here, there's also one that says MeetFox and stuff like that. You can have a lot of Stripe dashboards. So in your case, you want to look for the one that says Thrive Themes LLC. That's the one that you want to identify. In fact, I would even go further and encourage you to rename your account name. So for example, I'm going to say MeetFox and Thrive Themes. This is going to be my MeetFox and Thrive Themes dashboard, because what's going to happen is if you manage more than one Thrive Themes website, every time you connect your Thrive Themes or your Thrive Apprentice portal over with Stripe, it's going to create a new Stripe dashboard. And you don't want to get to the point where you're a little bit confused about which portal belongs to which website, okay? So if you're an agency or a freelancer, if you have an agency license and you manage more than one Thrive Apprentice website, just make sure that you rename your dashboards so that you know which dashboard corresponds to which website, okay? Now, with that said, I want you to do one thing. I want you to go into developer mode. So let's go ahead and click this developer button. And I want you to jump into API keys here, the section that says API keys. And we need to create a new type of restricted key, okay? Let me jump back into Thrive Apprentice. Step number 2 here, it says that we need to create a restricted API key with the permissions we require. The permissions that Thrive Apprentice needs is all of these permissions. So we need to make sure that we set all of these to read, with the exception of checkout session, which needs to be set to write, and all webhook resources, which also needs to be set to write. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. I'm going to go ahead and create a new restricted key. You know what? There's one thing that I do want to do before I do that, which is to enable test mode. If you're new to Stripe, Stripe does offer this functionality where you can go into test mode. And what that does is it allows you to essentially use test data. And it's going to allow us to, a little bit down the road, type in fake credit card details. And that will allow us to process through transactions without actually need to use a real credit card. And this is really cool because it's going to let us test our entire setup without, having to use real information. So I encourage you, if this is the first time that you're setting up this integration, it wouldn't hurt to enable test mode. And let's go ahead and create a new restricted key now. And as you can see, what I'm going to do is essentially just Command F, or if you're using Windows, Control F, all of these different permissions that Thrive Apprentice needs. I'm going to set them to either read or write. So for example, I know that all webhook resources needs to be set to write. And the other one was checkout session. So I can just Command F, checkout sessions. I'm going to set that to write. And then I can just Command F all of the other ones and set them to read. Now there's a whole lot more that Thrive Apprentice doesn't specify whether they need to be read or write. The ones that it doesn't specify, you can just ignore, okay? Just leave them set to none. Those don't really matter. Okay, and once you've set all of those permissions to either read or write, we can just scroll down to the very bottom and hit this button that says Create Key. I did forget to give it a name, so I'm just going to say Thrive Themes Test. And let's hit Create. Perfect. And now let's reveal the test key and copy that to our clipboard. And now we can jump back into Thrive Apprentice and paste our API key inside this field. And voila, we've successfully linked our Stripe account to our Thrive Apprentice portal. Now, important, we don't actually have any products created inside Stripe yet, right? If I jump into products, there's none of them created. So we're going to need to create our product inside Stripe, and then we can go ahead and link it to our Stripe product, to our Thrive Apprentice product, right? If you remember, we're currently editing the access requirement restrictions for Tony's membership site Thrive Apprentice product. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create our first Stripe product. So inside products, all products, let's go ahead and create a new one. And we're going to call this Tony's membership site. And let's just give it a description. This gives you access to the Thrive Architect course and business category blog posts. You could upload an image. I'm going to leave that blank for now. And pricing model, you could do volume pricing, graduated pricing, or customer chooses pricing. Stripe does allow a bunch of different options here. I'm just going to give this a $97 price. And I do want to do euros as well. And for euros, it's automatically making the conversion for me. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Let's just leave it like that. This is going to be a recurring expense, okay? It's going to be $97 per month. Perfect. And that should be pretty much it for now. Let's go ahead and save this product. Actually, let's actually do this. I want to do one more thing before I hit save, which is to add another pricing option for this very same product. I'm going to do add price. It's going to be standard pricing. Instead of $97, we're going to make it $970. And you guys can probably already guess why I'm doing this. Let's add one more currency, which is going to be euros. Perfect. And again, it's making the same conversion. Now this is going to be yearly. So we're going to have a pricing option for annual payments, okay? And this is going to come in handy because we're going to use this as an upsell later on. All right, I think we're ready to save. So let's hit save. Perfect. And now you can see how we've got one product, which is Tony's membership site. And inside this one product, we've got two different pricing tiers. We've got a monthly payment plan of $97 and a yearly plan of $970 per year. Now, if we hadn't created this additional pricing tier, we would not be able to now configure an upsell for this price, okay? So if we jump into the default pricing tier, which is $97 a month, you're going to see that now I have an option here that says upsells, and I have the option of upselling or, of offering an upsell for my $97 a year product. So let's go ahead and enable that. Again, if you hadn't set up an additional pricing tier, obviously that pricing tier needs to be worth it, right? It has to be a little bit more expensive, or the pricing needs to make sense in order for it to be considered an upsell. So let's go ahead and preview what this looks like, okay? Let's jump back into my products. And I'm just going to go ahead and create a payment link for this product. And now you can see that, this is the live preview of what my product is going to look like. You can see that this is a $97 a month product, which is, my subscribe to Tony's membership site. But I do have this toggle that says save $194 per year with annual billing that people can toggle. They can enable that, right? And that is a great option of just getting a little bit of more money, or at least trying to get a little bit of more money upfront. And of course, we can configure here as well what happens after people actually check out, which is you can either show a confirmation page powered by Stripe, or you can redirect people to a thank you page of your own choice. Excellent. Now that we have a Stripe product set up inside Stripe, we can now jump back into Thrive Apprentice and refresh our list of Stripe products. And this should pull out the product that we just created. And here it is, Tony's membership site. And we can select the pricing, which is going to be $97. And to display the Buy Now button for this product, you must change the action button displays to settings to Buy Now Stripe here. Okay, we're going to do that in a second. First, we have to tell Thrive Apprentice what our thank you page is going to be, and what happens if the payment doesn't go through for whatever reason, or if they were to cancel their subscription or something like that. So let's go ahead and in this case, I'm just going to do some temporary pages here. So let's do thank you, and we can also do like an oops page or something. Perfect. Let's hit save. Perfect. And now we can tell Thrive Apprentice, hey, I want you to set the Buy Now buttons for all of my Thrive Apprentice pages to be redirected to my Stripe product. Let's hit save. And let's see what that looks like. Okay, so I have a sales page opened up with Thrive Architect, and I can set any kind of button. Let's just, for the sake of keeping this real, let's change the pricing here. But I can set any button on, anywhere on my page with Thrive Architect to display that action button. Okay, so I can make this button be dynamic. I can have this be an apprentice product. In this case, it's going to be Tony's membership site. And if I hit insert, see what happens. I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to preview this page. All right, I'm in the front end of my page, and if I hit buy now, boom, my product shows up. And I want you to take a look at something. The default currency for my product was in dollars, but since I'm actually filming from Spain right now, it's detecting that my currency is euros, and so it's showing me the pricing in euros, which is pretty cool. And I could enable the annual payment instead, and that works beautifully well as well. Okay, and I want to do one more thing. Since we're using test mode, the cool thing is that we can actually test the whole process. And as you can see, I've typed in a fake credit card and my name and so forth and so on. So let's go ahead and hit pay. And let's see what happens. Great, so the payment went through just fine. And I've been redirected to a 404 page because the thank you page that I set at the beginning of the process doesn't actually exist on this website. I typed in, I think it was thank-you. I don't actually have a page named that way. But I would have been redirected to the real thank you page had I had a real thank you page. Let's see if everything went through just fine inside Stripe. Let's see what happened there. So let's go to home. And boom, here I can see that I have $960 of gross volume. And that I just made a sale right now, actually, which is pretty cool. And not just that, but if I go inside reports, inside Thrive Apprentice, I can see that Tony Lewis just purchased a product via Stripe. New members. And I can see that there's one new member, Tony Lewis, October 10th. Pretty cool stuff. Okay, there's one more thing that I want to show you before we move on, which is that I want to add a cross-sell. So let's just say that I'm going to offer the possibility of having people also add into their checkout process, another area of my website. So let's just go ahead and give people access to blog posts of type books. Okay, and if people opt in to purchase my cross-sell, they're going to unlock access to blog posts of category type books. Excellent. Perfect. And now we need to create the same product inside Stripe. Let's go ahead to inside our products. Let's create a new one. Let's call this blog posts of type books. And let's just give that a small description. We're going to make this a one-time payment this time. And it's going to be of just, let's just make it $29. This time, I'm actually not going to give it, let's make sure that we're consistent. I guess that makes sense. Perfect. And since we're not going to be upselling anything on this product, we don't need to add another pricing tier for this one. So let's just go ahead and hit save. Excellent. And now let's go back to our original Tony's Membership site product. And let's enable as a cross-sell the product that we just created, which is our blog posts of type books. Great. And now let's just go ahead and see what that looks like. Here you go. So we can do $97 a month and take us up on the offer of upgrading to annual billing. And we can also add our blog posts of type books to our order. Let's actually see what this looks like from the front end of our website. Okay, here I am. I've got my subscription for Tony's Membership site. If I click on Buy Now, this triggers my Stripe checkout, and I can upgrade to annual billing. And then I can also add a cross-sell onto my offer. I mean, how cool is that? But we're not quite done. We do need to go inside Thrive Apprentice and edit the access requirements for the product, for our cross-sell product, right? So in this case, we're going to jump into access requirements. Our Stripe account is already connected. We've already done this. So we just need to refresh our Stripe products and make sure that we link our Thrive Apprentice product to the corresponding Stripe product. In this case, it's going to be blog posts of type books. And it's going to be $29. Perfect. And we just need to give it a thank you URL, and that would be pretty much it.
Now let's quickly talk about who this new integration is for. Look, if you already have a Thrive cart set up, or if you already have an existing funnel in place that makes use of a third-party checkout tool, that's fine. There's no need to get rid of your existing funnel. In fact, your existing funnel may already work great for you. There are pros and cons to using a third-party checkout tool. For example, I know that ThriveCart is way more flexible design-wise when it comes to customizing your checkout experience. With Stripe, you can barely modify anything about your checkout page. But if you don't have an existing funnel in place and you don't want to have to pay for a third-party checkout tool, then this is a great option for you. We understand that many people don't want to have to endure the cost of yet another tool only to be able to process payments on their site, which is exactly what we've built, this bridge between Thrive Apprentice and Stripe, to allow smaller entrepreneurs to be able to launch their businesses without having to assume the cost of doing something as simple as processing a payment. With that said, I really hope you found this video useful. Do consider subscribing to our YouTube channel if you like marketing, web design, and business building. And if you want to get started using Thrive Apprentice today, there's a link in the description box that you can use to sign up immediately. Truly a pleasure as usual, and I will see you soon. Thank you. Bye.